going. What's different about today than any other day?
All right, we'll get started here in a second. Once the lights on.
What's it? I know. Let's just take her.
Did you get the highball ice cream?
Then I did it. Yeah.
Let's put like colored liquid in there and just sit there and drink.
Well, it's kind of like Michaela's high noon show.
Just put
Yeah.
flat Coke in there. Make it look like
All right. We'll call the meeting to order. Good evening. Welcome to the Chaska City Council meeting for June 2nd, 2025. Will everyone join me in standing for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Mayor Hubbard is out this evening, so you get me. We'll start with roll call. Elise, will you call roll?
Councilmember Hatfield.
Here.
Councilmember Benish.
Here.
Councilmember Shevlin.
Here.
Councilmember McGraw.
Here.
Mayor Hubbard.
All right, thank you. Move on to adopting the agenda. Are there any corrections or additions to the agenda? If not, I'll take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Gross, second by Councilmember Benish. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Agenda's adopted. There we go. All right, next up we have a proclamation. So for those that weren't aware, Size Bar and Grill, who's been in our community a long time, was sold recently and will have new ownership. And since Size has been such a important part of our community and really a home for many, it has a lot of regulars. We wanted to honor the owner, Terry Dirks, and just Size Bar's legacy with the proclamation. So I'm going to go ahead and read that, and then we'll get the proclamation to Terry at a later date. So, in recognition of Size Bar and Grill's years of dedication to the community of Chaska, whereas for over 4 decades, Terry Dirks has been a fixture in the business community of Chaska, Minnesota, beginning his journey at Size over 43 years ago and owning and operating the establishment for 39 of those years. And whereas Terry took the reins from Lou, who inherited the legacy from the original owner and continued to grow the business from its original location at what is now Shop 501 building to its current home in the historic Mill building. And whereas in 2008, Terry transformed the legacy of Size Liquors into Size Bar and Grill, expanding its offerings to include a full-service kitchen and bringing in his sister Kathy on board as a cook to build a family-centered, community-driven establishment. And whereas his commitment has extended far beyond food and drink, offering warmth, welcome, and a space for connection, celebration, and even healing for generations of locals. And whereas even during trying times, including the closure of the original location in June 2007, after 21 years of ownership, Terry remained deeply devoted to his patrons, ensuring the bar remained a sanctuary for good food, good company, and community spirit. And whereas Terry has shown tireless dedication, clearing snow around the Mill building since the 2008, hosting music bingo, karaoke, meat raffles, and bingo nights, and ensuring that Size Bar and Grill remains one of the city's most beloved gathering spots. And whereas every community needs a place where stories are shared, burdens are lightened, and memories are made. And for Chaska, that place has been nurtured, protected, and proudly carried forward by Terry Dirks. And now, therefore, it be resolved that I, Michaela Hatfield, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Chaska, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Chaska, do hereby proclaim June 2nd as Terry Dirks Day in the City of Chaska and extend heartfelt thanks and appreciation to Terry for his steadfast presence, his unwavering devotion, and his irreplaceable role in the heartbeat of our downtown. So we celebrate your retirement, salute your legacy, and thank you for making Chaska a more connected, joyful, and meaningful place for all. So thank you to Terry. It truly is, I don't know if anybody has comments, but it's the best burger you're going to get in town. Good people. It's always just like a good vibe. So I don't know if anybody else wants to share anything.
I don't know how you follow that up. That was really well written.
Yeah, it was really
Seriously,
well
like,
written.
and it's very true, right? I think I certainly learned a few things as well, so that was good to kind of see and get that, because I don't necessarily know how much of history of people know. So.
Yeah, for sure. And I believe, I don't want to get the facts wrong, I think they're going to close for just a short bit. I think that's been some confusion. So as they pass over ownership, there might be a few days they're closed. as they pass that over, but very much is going to an owner and will be open. Again, I think it's just a few days they're closed, so I don't know if we have more details on that, but
I think they're
I think-
closed today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think they open up.
they'll reopen, yeah. So, awesome. All right. We'll move on to visitor presentation. So we have the tour de Tonka. So Jenny, welcome back.
Great, good evening, council members. Thanks for having us back. I'm here tonight with one of my coworkers, Alyssa. So we both work in Minnetonka Community Ed and work a lot with this event. So we're excited to share some updates. It's our 20th year of Tour de Tonka this year, and I've had the chance to come here many times. So I've seen some of you through the years. So August 2nd is Tour de Tonka, and we can go on to the next slide. We'll just give you a preview of some things to come. Again, our 20th anniversary, we're looking to do some fun things to celebrate that. If we go on to the next slide, that'll share a few of those things. No, it won't. That's coming up. Thanking our sponsors. We have a lot of great sponsors who support the event in a lot of different ways. Some are financial, some their organizations get involved and help different aspects of the event. Liocense Bike Mechanics, we have Boyer Building, they help us put up a big structure at the start of the event. Domino's provides pizza, so we've got a lot of great community involvement from a lot of these sponsors, so we thank them very much for their support. You can go on to the next slide. And this, we talk about our 20th anniversary. So we sell lots of Tour de Tonka gear at the event, but we are creating some special 20th anniversary merchandise that'll be available for sale online. We're going to create sort of an archive display of shirts and materials of events from years gone by. And then we do have something we call a legacy rider, and that's a person who has participated every year as either a participant or a rider. And we have about, I think, 49 of those folks still engaged in the event. So we're hoping to get a nice group photo of them at the starting arch prior to the event and really celebrate their commitment of 20 years being involved in Tour de Tonka, which is amazing. You can go to the next slide. These are our shirts for the riders. So they're a little bit of a throwback to our very first shirt with a little bit of an update on them. But we think they'll be really fun. All of our participants will receive a shirt, as well as if you volunteer, you'll receive a shirt as well. But we're excited to kind of have an old school updated shirt for that. On to the next slide. Talk a little bit about registration. So we do have 835 riders currently registered. We're doing really well in terms of comparison to previous years, up 7%, and lots of states coming already planned, as well as Minnesota riders from 113 cities. So we have a big draw. We have a 100-mile distance that often draws people to, that with that goal of completing that century ride to come. But yeah, the numbers are looking great across the board, and we know those will continue out throughout the next couple months. Next slide. This is sort of the breakdown of right now the distances that riders have signed up for. So the lowest amount in our 16-mile, highest in the 100, but kind of a good spread throughout the different distances. You can go to the next slide. Talking a little bit about our routes, we have 5 routes this year, from 16 miles to 100, and they go through 25 different cities depending on the ride that you choose. Obviously our 100-mile going through the most cities, and Chaska being one of them. So they come through, if you go to the next slide, I think that's the map. You can kind of see all of the different rides. The blue is the 100-milers. They're going all the way out to Delano and Winstead, and they're making quite a journey around the west of the Twin Cities. And then the 16-milers certainly stay much closer to home from our start at Minnetonka High School, start and finish there. But through Chaska, we have a rest stop at Pioneer Park, which is always very popular. It's a stop for our 100-milers, so we expect about 600 to 700 riders to be coming through Chaska on Pioneer Trail. And the rest stop will be open from 10:30 to 3:30. So it's a busy rest stop, and it's really spread out throughout the day because they're getting further along in their journey. So there's a lot of separation between them as they as they make their way here. You can go on to the next slide, and I'll turn it over to Alyssa.
Yeah, so as Jenny said, my name's Alyssa. My day job is adult programs in community ed, but for Tour de Tonka, I'm the route captain coordinator, so I work hand in hand with the volunteers. Tour de Tonka is a really heavy lift. We need about 600 volunteers to make the event happen. And there are many different types of volunteers. You know, we have people who come for 3 hours and do packet pickup, or you have the people at the rest stops that are handing out food to all the riders all day, or my route captains who are in charge of a certain part of the route and they're putting up all the signage and making the route or the event run smoothly. If you would like to volunteer, you could take out your phone right now and scan that QR code. We'd appreciate it. No, I'm just kidding. But if you could go to the next slide. So since 2006, Tour de Tonka has raised over $100,000 for the ICA food shelf in Minnetonka, which is super awesome. And this year, Louise Weir, our marketing specialist, is really trying to up that number even more, especially for not only for the 20th, but just because it's such a great cause, and it's a great way to give back to our community, which is what community ed is all about. You can go to the next slide. I can keep going.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so along with volunteers, we really rely a lot on our law enforcement and our safety partners. So this is just some great things that riders have said about that law enforcement on the route. They feel safe because there's officers at every major intersection or fire personnel, and they just feel like safety is really important. So we really do appreciate all of those law enforcement and safety partners that do give us their time to make sure the event is safe and fun for everyone.
The next slide, which might be.
You can go to the next slide. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, which is the end. So Saturday, August 2nd is Tour de Tonka. Starts out at Minnetonka High School and Clear Springs Elementary, and then everyone finishes at the high school. So we're hoping folks will be interested to join us to ride or to volunteer. It's a great community event, and we thank Chaska for their continued support of the event. And we're happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions?
Congratulations on 20 years.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's exciting.
It's always exciting to see the numbers
Yeah.
go up and get bigger, so that's exciting. And definitely I'll put a plug in for volunteering. I think it was long ago. I think I was a police explorer actually when I did it.
Cool.
But
Yeah.
it is fun to see
Yes.
all of the riders go by, and hopefully it's nice out and you get to just kind of hang out and do whatever it is you're doing, but get to see all the activity is a lot of fun. So just a plug for volunteering.
Thank
If somebody's listening and they want to volunteer,
Yeah.
Best place to go.
Yeah,
to
you
sign
could, if you go to the Tour de Tonka website,
Okay,
there's
perfect.
a link to volunteer, there's a link to sign up, and all of the route maps are on there, lots of good stuff to check out. So if you go to Minnetonka Community Ed's website and click down on Tour de Tonka, you'll find everything there. All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. All right. I don't see anyone else for a visitor presentation. So we'll go ahead and move on to approving the previous meeting minutes. So any corrections or additions to the previous meeting minutes? Not hearing any, so I'll take a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Councilmember Shevlin,
Second.
second by Councilmember Grau. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. All right. Moving on to consent items. So as a reminder, these are items that don't necessarily need a discussion, but do need approval, so we can pull any off or ask any questions or comments. So I guess with that, any questions, comments on consent?
It's exciting to see the Beckman Coulter one, because that just means they're moving ahead more, so exciting to see that.
So, perfect. All right. Any other questions, comments?
I
Take a motion.
I make a motion to approve consent.
All right, motion by Councilmember Grau,
Second.
second by Councilmember Benish to approve consent. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Consent passes. All right, and we don't have any action items, so that's easy. Thanks for making my job easy tonight. So we'll move on to bills. Any questions on bills?
I think there's one more consent for adopt the ordinance for, at least online.
Did I skip something?
No, it's all consent.
It was all consent. Yeah, it was all in one.
Okay.
No questions on bills?
Motion to pay the bills?
Okay. Motion to pay the bills by Councilmember Grau,
Second?
second by Councilmember Shevlin. This is a roll call vote. So any discussion? No? Please can you call roll?
All right, Councilmember Benish,
Yes?
Councilmember Shevlin,
Yes?
Councilmember Grau,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Hatfield.
Yes. All right, bills are paid. Great. So we'll move on to other business. So we'll start with Councilmember Grau.
I was able to, the Memorial Day celebration. It's such a just neat event. I've gone several years. I tend to try to make it a priority. Life doesn't always allow me to do that, but it's fun to see the speakers, the young adults. You know, I find myself getting a child that's close to the age going, don't know if my child would speak like that and speak so elegantly and write that and calm and confident. You know, I thought the focus speaker did a really good job of kind of presenting the realities of his experience and how things were viewed and the importance of saying thank you. And it's just, it's fun to see the gathering of solemnness but celebration, if that makes some sense, right? Like it's, you know, people are there. It's kind of an interesting, because you're talking some very serious concepts and memories and things, and then you have kids playing in the playground and having fun, right? Like it's just this interesting kind of view, and I like to kind of sit in the back. So beautiful weather again. I remember days where it poured and we all gathered in a really small space, right? So it's just, I think that's great. And it just, again, we talked a little bit last time about how awesome that space is and how some cities have not built such an awesome space. I'm just thankful, right? Like that is such a space, the sky and the scenic background, and just kind of you can be reflective. And so that was really fun and really special. I also mentioned, close to my heart, because I don't think we'll have another meeting, maybe we will. But the Chaska Baseball Classic is June 13th through the 15th. That is different this year. This is the first year that moved. It used to be in May, like the second week in May. I think it was actually Mother's Day. Now it's Father's Day. That change was made largely because a lot of cities started putting their tournaments, and so you try to balance it out so you get the teams to come in. But if you're curious, I mean, it's ages 9 through 11. All the city fields, shout out to the city works and continue to make those spaces look great, because a lot of people will come to the community. It's a great way to showcase Chaska. It's good for businesses because people need quick bites to eat in between. So if you find yourself not doing anything and you're wondering what's all that cheering, check out a field. Just go check it. I mean, it's, I say this because I observe this a lot of places, but it's easy to think about all the stuff you see online about the negativeness of youth sports, and it's not always rosy, but it's just sometimes nice to go and just observe kids having fun and competing and the camaraderie and everything like that. So again, that's June 13th through 15th, and that will be really at all city fields, so super fun. I noticed we had some structural damage downtown. We had a vehicle run into a median. Is that, trying to forget where that is, but I've driven by it a couple times, so that's always sad when that happens.
Yeah,
right?
don't do U-turns.
Don't use U-turns.
That's actually the biggest issue
Yeah.
that we've seen. We've seen at 2nd Street and 4th Street, the two walls that are there that come out. For some reason, people do U-turns there, and they just decide they're going to hit the wall and
That's so
keep on
different.
going. And we've had it happen to both the walls, and so we've actually looked at, there's 3 sectioned walls. We've actually looked at actually pulling it back so it's a 2-section wall, so that we won't run into that, and then it'll stay looking nice, serve its purpose, but also be cognizant that obviously people are doing that, so.
Yeah, it's like
It's
the-
not safe to do that. I mean, so
Yeah.
beyond just like hitting those,
Yeah.
there's not enough space even for small cars that can turn on a dime to make a U-turn at those spots. So it's just like not safe. I mean, besides hitting the wall.
Other question, a couple other questions I had, just looking for updates, because I ask, and then I'm sure other people ask. The bridge on the bike path, what's the status of that? I drive by that every day.
I think it's right around the 16th of, it's like the middle of June when all the blacktop will get completed. Because they have to put the approaches up to the bridge, and then they also have to do the, when they cross like, say Hickory Street, they have to put the blacktop in there too.
Okay, that'll be fun. We'll connect
Yep.
this all. And then lastly, do you have any update on 41 Engler anticipation? I noticed, for example, they cut the median out to allow that
Yeah.
eventual turn through to, what road is that? It goes behind the, or by the.
Oh, White Oak.
White Oak?
Yep.
So any update on when we anticipate that?
Yeah, we
flip over?
anticipate actually the day of our next meeting,
Okay.
which is the 16th, is probably going to be the day that they switch over. They're doing some work on Engler in front of the Public Safety Center now with putting in some storm scepters, but they have half the road always open so people can get to the apartment building or get to, I think it's Red Oak Circle that's up there. But everything will shift. They'll open up Bavaria and then go over and close 41.
That is all I have, Mayor Pro Tem.
Councilmember Shevlin?
So I have a shout out for the community workers. The Dance Warehouse had their recital this past weekend at Southwest Christian High School, and with Bavaria closed, everybody thought it was going to be horrible, but they had a temporary stoplight up, and it was a breeze to get in and out of there. So great job on, public safety for planning that. Great job to all the girls that dance there too. I have 2 daughters that dance there, and it is amazing when you see how much work those girls put into dancing and then to get on stage and put on these productions all weekend. It is amazing. So congratulations to all those kids. My children and I went to Fishing with Friends this weekend, and that was, again, a really great event, very well attended. They loved their fishing rods and their tackle boxes and walked away so proud with them. But the volunteers were so excited every time a kid, even if it was that big, caught a little fish, and just so supportive of teaching these kids that skill. And then finally, shout out to all the kids who are ending school this week, public and private both. They're all starting their summers, and so congratulations on another year of hopefully really good studies, really good sports, and to the seniors, best of luck in your next chapter.
To just piggyback on that, I think it's also a good reminder of being aware of your surroundings now when you're out about. More kids riding bikes, more kids scooters, it's just that, it's like going back to school, traffic changes, school ending, traffic changes. So just be mindful of the neighborhoods will have more people in them and
Absolutely.
movement.
Perfect, thank you. Councilmember Benish?
I don't have much. I just want to say congratulations to the Chaska High School class of 2025 and good luck in your endeavors, wherever that may be, and always try to have fun. So, yeah.
Good, good. Awesome. Elise, anything?
I would just note that I believe all of you received the business newsletter updates. There's a fun new thing that Julie has been working on with Councilmember Hatfield and Mayor Hubbard, highlighting our local businesses. So take a look at it. It's a fun video to see. This month it was on The Forge and Bellows Bistro. So
Is it? I watched it. That was interesting to
Is that
watch.
open now, the bistro?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
And I would maybe suggest in future light agenda meetings, we should just play the video during the meeting. But
In future ones, absolutely. Thank you. Anything else?
No. Oh, sorry.
You don't have anything else
I
either?
forgot that I already talked and Elise was talking, so yeah.
Awesome. But those videos are just, well, it's the topic. We have a lot of fun doing them, but they are just very good highlights. We have a lot of amazing business owners, so I think we've filmed 4, so there's more coming. And it's just great to get to hear about the businesses. So they're in the business newsletter. They're also on YouTube. So if you want to go check them out, I don't know if we're going to put them on our city page at all, but they are on YouTube. So if you're listening and you want to check that out and hear about the Forge and Bella's Bistro and what that all entails, you can go watch it there. So thanks, Lise. Christoph? Matt?
The only thing I'll mention is we had a meeting with the owners at Town Square building today. Had a good meeting about stuff that they're doing to try to improve things that are happening down there. And they've actually, from a public safety perspective, have made some pretty significant improvements down there, which is good to see. But one exciting thing that I wanted to share is that they did confirm that, is it called Chaska Thai and Sushi is going to go down there. The person who owns that actually owns a place in Hastings and also in River Falls, Wisconsin. And I had a chance to go on today and take a look at their reviews, and it looks delicious. And the reviews were fantastic. So,
That's awesome.
So I think the thing that's sort of neat about that is we don't have another restaurant like that in the community. So it's just another more variety and another reason for people to come downtown too. So they opened. They had sort of sounded like they were aiming for probably the middle of July timeframe when they would actually open up, but they have some renovation work to do. But between that and we have, obviously new size, and we have the Southern Social, we'll have a lot of new places opening up down here.
That's exciting. Yeah, we don't have any Thai in town. So that's going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
Just
Lots of restaurants.
quick thing to add on to that, there's a new bubble tea vendor. I took the dog for a grooming appointment, and it's, I don't know what that road is, where you turn behind, say there, Crystal Lane.
Crystal Lane, yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so that is a really fun place, and they have these things called it's like a corn dog, because it's a hot dog, but it's surrounded by mozzarella cheese, so it's their cheese dog and then deep fried.
I did not need to know that.
No, it's so good. I actually ate 4 of them. So
No, that's what I'm saying, is I didn't need to know that.
It's
I
so
looked too
good.
close.
My kids had those. They're very
They're
good.
so good. And then they
Yeah.
have fresh donuts that they make right in front of you based on
they're
your...
the mochi
yes,
donut?
mochi donuts.
Mochi donuts,
They have
those are so
ice cream
good.
and then, of course, all the bubble tea and milk tea that you can imagine. But really fun owners. I actually took some pictures with them this week that I'll post. But really fun. It's the second of 2. They have one in Coon Rapids and this one. And cute little addition to downtown. And then behind them is a new thrift store called the Dive Spot, which if you have household items, clothing, furniture, any of that kind of stuff, they are always accepting, but it looks like a really cool new place where maybe, business downtown could pick up and you can find some light cardboard junk, some fun finds.
So, thank you. Anything else, Matt?
Nope.
Okay, perfect. I just have a few things. First, I want to just congratulate the whole team on being Star Tribune top 150 companies to work at. That's incredible. And I saw the nice display as I was coming up the steps. That looked really nice. I don't know whose idea that was, but just kind of showcasing.
I guarantee it wasn't my idea.
You know, I had a feeling, but,
If it looks nice, it wasn't my
so
idea.
Nice. Okay, I figured it might have been a Denise and Vicky thing, but it looks really nice. So thanks, Denise and Vicky, for putting that up, but also just the staff, because that takes a lot of effort to do the survey and everything. Like, it's not just something where they pick out. It involves a survey and everything. So congratulations on that.
And the thing that I really like about it, I mean, it's great, to have the recognition, but what's really great is the survey tool that they have gives us a year-to-year, apples to apples comparison about where we've been and where we are now. And we had, I think it was 90%, 89% participation rate with our employees, which is super high. So it's been a good, useful tool to provide feedback to say, where are areas that we're doing good, but where are areas that maybe we could improve.
And that's really a team effort. So thank you, Matt, and all the department heads, because that means you guys are doing a good job. I think that's the biggest reflection, and people like working here, and that's important to having a good place to live. You want the employees running the city, working in the city, to like their job, so that helps. So congratulations on that. And then a few events coming up. Chaska Pride Celebration will be on June 21st, which is always a really great event. Picnic with Police is June 25th. That one is also always a hit. So there's lots of things end of June going on. One coming up though, June 10th, the kids concert and ice cream social. I think that one's always a really popular one or something. The concert is, so I don't know if the ice cream social has been done before. I can remember, but who doesn't love ice cream? So that's on June 10th at 6. So those are a few things coming up. I don't know if I missed any others. Of course, at the end of July, or mid-July, July 12th is Fire and Ice. put that on your calendars, and then July 26th, or the weekend of July 26th is River City Days, so summer in Chaska is always a lot of fun. So that's all coming up. Memorial Day, definitely thank you to the Legion and the VFW, they always do an amazing job, just really honoring those who have been lost in war and whatnot, and the veterans too, you know, different than Veterans Day, but still honoring everyone, so they always just do a phenomenal job, so thank you to them. And I think that's it. Our next meeting is Monday, June 16th, and then it sounds like we are gonna do the 5th Monday instead of the July, so
Yep.
we'll meet June 30th, I think is the date.
Yep.
Instead of the July 7th, because of the holiday, so. And just a reminder that Juneteenth on June 19th is, it's a state holiday, so offices and things will be closed. So, all right, that's everything. It was a quick meeting, so take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Okay, motion by Councilmember Benish, second by Councilmember Shevland. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. You're adjourned. Thanks, everyone.